Well, hello everybody and welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to be making Kingston Biscuits, or a version of Kingston Biscuits. Now these are an Australian biscuit, 2 layers sandwiched together with some chocolate ganache. I think maybe they can be sandwiched with other things as well. Made by a company called Arnott's apparently. And so basically the biscuits are made up of flour, coconut and oatmeal with sugar and such like. And they're very, very tasty. So it's what you might call a coconut oat sandwich biscuit. Quite simple to make and it just takes a little bit of time. So for the ingredients I have 260 grams, which is 2 cups of self-raising flour. Now if you don't have self-raising flour, take 260 grams or 2 cups of plain flour, remove 3 teaspoons of that flour and replace it with 3 teaspoons of baking powder, then mix it together and you'll have pretty much the same thing. Then I have 2 medium eggs, which would be large in the USA. I have 125 grams, which is just about 9 tablespoons of softened butter. I have 150 grams, 3/4 of a cup of light brown sugar. I have 85 grams, which is 1 cup of desiccated coconut. I have 42 grams, which is half a cup of oats, and these are the quick cooking oats. I usually use rolled oats, but they're thicker, and if you want to use those I would actually blitz them a little bit in a food processor to break them down. This is so that it absorbs the liquid that little bit easier. Then I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of golden syrup, or you could use corn syrup or treacle. And then for the filling I'm going to use 185 grams, which is about 1 1/4 cups of milk chocolate, and 30 grams, just over 2 tablespoons of butter. They're going to be melted together, and that's the later thing that we do. So the first thing I'm going to do actually is to put the coconut and the oatmeal into the same bowl as the flour, and then I'm going to give those a little bit of a mix around to get them a bit combined. Then I'll just set that aside. So I have my oven preheating at 180 Celsius, that's 160 Celsius with a fan, 350 Fahrenheit, and I've lined a couple of baking trays with parchment paper so they're ready to take the cookies once we've made the mixture. So we're going to put the butter and the sugar and a tablespoon of golden syrup into a bowl, and then we're going to cream those together. Just wait for the golden syrup to squeeze into the spoon. Just about a tablespoon left in this bottle, I think. That's good. And then I'm going to cream those, and I'm going to use my handheld mixer for that. And with that mixed together, I'm going to add the eggs. I'm going to do it one at a time. And I'm going to mix those into that butter mixture. So with the eggs mixed in to the butter and sugar, I'm then going to simply put the flour, the coconut and the oats in, and I'm going to use a spatula or a spoon to just stir that all together until I get that into a fully incorporated batter. And with the mixture fully incorporated like that, what I'm going to do is take about 15 grams, which is sort of a heaped teaspoon, and I'm going to roll it into a ball, just like that, and place it on the baking sheet. And I'm going to leave a gap of about 2 inches between each one. Now you don't need to weigh this if you don't want to, but about that much, I hope, will be about 15 grams. That's actually 16, but just about that much will be okay. And do that for all the batter. So here I have 30 balls rolled out, and I still have more batter or dough to use. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a fork and I'm going to press down on each one like that, and I'll actually just take a little bit of flour that I can dip the fork in so that it doesn't stick. Like that. So just press them down, and with those pressed down like that, I'm going to put those into the oven, and I'm going to bake them for 12 minutes. Then I'm going to bake the rest of the dough as well, and while that's baking, I'm going to take my 185 grams of chocolate, and into it I'm going to put my 2 tablespoons, 30 grams of butter, and I'm going to melt those together. Now you can either do that in a microwave in 15-second bursts and stir it between each one until it's all melted and combined, or you can put it on a pan of simmering water in a bowl and stir it until it's melted. Whichever you want to do, that's easy enough. I don't need to show you that. That will then cool down so that we can spoon that between two of the biscuits to make the Kingston biscuits. So I'll be back when mine have baked and cooled down and we're ready to go on to the next step. So our cookie's baked, and I actually let mine bake for between 14 and 15 minutes because I wasn't sure that the underside of the cookies was going to firm up once they'd cooled down. So this is what they look like, and I got 50 cookies, which would make 25 sandwich biscuits. I've eaten some already just to taste them, and what I've done is I've melted my milk chocolate with the butter, and I've just left it for a few minutes so that it's of a spreadable type consistency. It will firm up a little bit more, but what I'm going to do is to take an amount of the ganache and put it onto the underside of half of the biscuits. And then I'm simply going to take another cookie and I'm going to press it down like that. So that it spreads the ganache. So that's the cookies sandwiched, and as you can see, they're quite good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let those firm up so that the chocolate ganache firms up a little bit, and then I'll come back and have a taste. Now I will just taste this one that I've been eating so you can see that it's nice and crunchy. And it's not very sweet, but I get the coconut taste coming through, very nice. But with the addition of the chocolate ganache, when we taste it later, it will be nice and rich as well. So I'll be back in a little while when these have firmed up and we can bite into them. So the Kingston biscuits have now set just a little bit firmer, so I'll have a taste of one. Nice and crunchy, and you get that nice coconut taste, but you also get the chocolate flavour from the ganache as well. These are very, very good. I hadn't heard of them until recently, but that's going to be it for this recipe. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below the video and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there will be an eye that you can click on, and that will take you to this recipe, and I'll put a link for it below the video as well, and I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.